Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Retta. I'm the president, CEO, and one of the co-founders of Tectonic Metals Incorporated. There's nothing like following a living legend like Ross Beaty. I will say, just to stick with the Ross Beaty theme, is that a lot of the key people behind Tectonic were involved with Kaminak Gold Corporation. Ross was one of the biggest investors in that company. We took that project called the Coffee Gold Project from never been drilled before, golden soil anomaly in the Yukon, right through to 5 million ounces. Myself was I was involved in raising $165 million, and we ended up selling it to Goldcorp for $520 million. So for those that don't know Tectonic, we hopped over the Yukon border into Alaska. The rocks don't necessarily discriminate on political borders. But what drew me to Alaska was the ability to work directly with the native corporations. These are for-profit entities that own massive amounts of land, and building a rapport with them or getting alignment on day one is really what Tectonic was all about. Is there a better way to explore? Is there a better way to permit mine? So walking in hand into a regulatory department or into a community or village with alignment with your stakeholders is extremely important to the beneficial advancement of that project. So at Tectonic, we've done that. Our second largest shareholder is a for-profit native corporation, and they've made investments in our company to the tune in excess of $3 to $4 million, and they actually own the land that we're currently exploring, which is the Flat Gold Project. So this was our first drill program in 2023 on this asset. I'll talk a bit about the program and what to expect going forward here. I do draw your attention to our forward-looking disclaimer slide. It's there for a reason. Obviously, don't expect you to read it right now, but it's on our website, and take the time to read it before making any investment decision in any company, for that matter, not just Tectonic. I like to start off with the differentiators. I did allude to working directly with the native corporations. I think this is what sets us apart from a lot of other companies. And it's really about that mindset. If you're trying to find a mine, your actions should reflect that path. And we're not here to find a drill play, a drill opportunity. We're here to find a mine. So with that being said, getting alignment with the stakeholders is extremely important. You can see our native corporation partner there, Doyon Limited. They own the flat property. We've also introduced a full-scale production agreement on all our assets, but more specifically on flat. This not only takes us right through into production, it also covers reclamation and other terms that you would traditionally find in an IBA, which is called an impact benefits agreement. Now, IBAs traditionally are negotiated at the feasibility stage. Well, we've asked the question, why can't we do that on day one? And so hence we've done that. The other thing that we do differently, not only do we have Indigenous shareholders, but we have sophisticated resource funds that support our company. And now more than ever, it's so important to have allies in your corner that believe in you, that will cut checks. And that shareholder is Crescat. They've now become a control person in our company. That, for those that don't know, when you're an insider, say over 10% ownership, you have to disclose your holdings. When you're a control person, you actually there's another level of that you're required to do, and that's to give notice when you intend to buy or sell. So you have to give, I think it's about 7 days notice. So it's a very strict threshold, and having them come in at that level was another honor and a testament that they believe in us and they believe in the prospects of this project. And I will say the last thing here that separates us from probably some other companies is that we treat this as a business. And like any business, it's important that your shareholders make money. This business model governs our actions as a management team and as a company, that we stay on a path where every project has expected deliverables, there's a timeline, there's costs, things of that nature. So again, everything we do is centered around business and creating value for our shareholders. I think it's important to note that our team has experience not only in discovery, as this slide highlights, 35 million ounces discovered in the Titina, which is where our project is situated, the Titina Gold Province. But it's also important to note that it's not just geology and exploration. Our team also has production experience, engineering experience, permitting experience, capital markets experience. And no matter what booth you're going to go go to here. Everyone has a great team. So I'm not going to say my team is better than anyone else. What I will say, I encourage you to come meet us. No one wants to invest in an asshole. No one wants to invest in a loser. My criteria when I invest, and I tell this to my kids, they're starting to invest now, is that go meet the people. Do you like them? Do you believe in them? Nothing gives you more credibility than looking someone in the eye and speaking to them. So our team, myself, our VPX, our senior geologist, two of our directors are here. Come by the booth, meet the team, and see for yourself. Last year was a very challenging year in the capital markets. A lot of people ask me, what was your biggest win? And by default, myself and some of other people that were involved with Kamenek, we say, our $520 million sale to Kamenek. But for me, the biggest win is actually enduring the tough times. Anyone can look like a hero in a bull market. Show me how you look like a hero in a terrible market. And this slide really highlights how we executed. And trust me, it wasn't easy, but we executed on the financing front. Initially, our financing, we announced a $6 million deal, which was probably reaching a bit given the current market conditions. 2-3 months later, we end up being oversubscribed. We executed a 2-drill program, given the Crescat coming in as a key shareholder, bolstering their confidence in us with an additional investment, and also the metallurgy. So these were some of the highlights from 2023. The Flat project, it's a 99,000 acre, predominantly native-owned land position, completely dormant in a very endowed mineral belt. And this mineral belt hosts the 5th largest gold deposit, one of the largest undeveloped gold deposits in the world. It's called Donlin. It's a tier 1 deposit. If it has the capability to produce one tier 1 deposit, could there be another one lurking in the shadows? And lo and behold, we think Flat has that potential. 55 historical drill holes that all hit gold, going into one target, Chicken Mountain. That's not the only target at Flat. There's about 4 other potential intrusions that we want to tackle this year. So some people have already been asking me, what's your agenda for 2024? Well, I want to make sure that every target gets drilled this year. We don't know if Chicken Mountain is the best target. It's pretty damn good given the 55 historical drill holes, and we put 19 holes into it this year. Assay should be out this month to the general public. But we do think that's just part 1 of this story. There are other anomalies that could be their own company maker in size. Golden Apex, for example, it's a 2K by 2K geophysical anomaly that's also spilling out gold, placer gold out of it. That's what those pink lines are. That's recorded placer production. And Flat got its notoriety back in the early 1900s. It was the 3rd richest placer mining jurisdiction. So all of these intrusions or these round geophysical anomalies have placer gold shedding out from them. So a sign that you're in a very robust, fertile system. We have a saying here at Tectonic that big deposits leave big footprints. Show me the footprint. It's not just arm-waving, pie-in-the-sky stuff. We have the placer endowment. We have the fact that the mineral belt has produced 1 tier 1 deposit. We have 55 drill holes telling us that we're onto something big. And last but not least, we also have a 4-kilometer golden soil anomaly that is still open for expansion, telling us that there could be something large beneath our feet. If we look at some of the historical drill holes, you can see here we have 12 grams over 24 being one of the better intercepts, but a lot of lower grade, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7 grams per ton over broad widths. And if we dive underground, you'll see the historical drilling and also some trenches that are quite robust and well mineralized. That gap that you see between those 2 holes, so we're looking at about 1 kilometer of strike here. Tectonic's drilling in 2023 stepped out from that 1K, and it also put a drill hole in the gap there that you see in the middle. 1 hole on the left there, completely mineralized. You have 2 trenches, 6.5 grams over 27 meters, 1.17 grams over 70, and then another hole that's completely mineralized. Good possibility that middle hole's could be carrying gold mineralization. We've tested that gap this year. Again, stay tuned for drill results. Not only did we test that, we also drove the drill hole from last year down to 400 meters. So full length of the hole, as far as took over a week to drill just that 1 hole. But we wanted to test the depth potential as well. So stay tuned for that information, which we anticipate. releasing later this month. I mentioned the 4-kilometer golden soil anomaly and that, big deposits leave big footprints. So I unfortunately, when we start talking like 4K, 1K, kind of loses its context. Some people put the picture of the Eiffel Tower or CN Tower next to their image. Well, what we've done here is we've actually put a mine next to the golden soil. And you can see the Fort Knox mine, which is also in Alaska. 8 million ounces is within that 2K strike, 500-meter depth, 800-meter width. And the 4-kilometer golden soil anomaly, which we don't know if it fully represents 4Ks of mineralization below your feet, but what we do know is that every hole has hit gold so far, and this area has been unglaciated. So soil sampling can be a direct reflection of what's below your feet. We have a lot of room to build tonnage here. This project demands a serious double-digit exploration/drill program, and that's where we want to go to really expose the potential at Chicken Mountain. I mentioned the other potential intrusions. You can see here on this slide, Golden Apex, Black Creek, and also the placer gold, recorded placer gold spilling out of each one. And I will highlight that Chicken Mountain, we mostly talk about Chicken Mountain West. So that's, if you're looking at the screen, that's the left side of the map, but the right side also has placer gold spilling out of it. Another sign that that side could be mineralized. I'll leave it at that. We're at booth 216, and thank you for your time.